Hello everyone, how's it going? Today I want to show you how to model liquid in a glass or in a cup in Solidworks and then render it in Keyshot. So for example here I have modeled this simple glass and then we have this red liquid which is I think wine and then I just rendered it in Keyshot. Now I'm doing this in SolidWorks, so there are some differences between SolidWorks and Blender. This only works for SolidWorks. So let's just begin. Okay, so as you can see here, I have modeled my cup or my glass here before. And what we want to do, we want to split this solid in half using the intersect feature here. So I'm just going to turn on my planes. You could use a surface, you could use a plane, you could use whatever. And this method works the best. I've tried some other methods, but I believe this method works the best. So I'm just going to duplicate this plane by holding Control, and then I'm going to drag the top plane up if it works. There we go. And we're just going to do 1.5. Okay, that's fine. And we go to intersect. So it's already selected, and we're just going to select our solid as well. And we don't want to do create both. We want to do create internal regions and intersect. Okay, so as you can see, we have an internal region. So that's it. You're just going to click OK. We don't want to merge it or anything. I'm just going to hide my planes. And as you can see here, we have our liquid. But this doesn't work well with Keyshot. What you want to do, you want to leave some space in between the liquid and the glass. But in Blender, it's actually the opposite. So in SolidWorks, you want to leave some space in between them. So the easiest thing to do is to actually just scale it down a little bit. So we're just going to click on this and we go to origin. And we're just going to scale it down by 0.01. So we have to say, we have to put 0.99 and we're just going to do OK. And that's it. We have our liquid. So there is a space in between them. If I just change the transparency, you can see that there is a tiny space in between them. And that's actually enough. It works well with Keyshot. Now in Keyshot, if you want to add geometries, that's a different thing. You have to say change the color of this top surface so it doesn't change, you know, the geometry of the inner region. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna change the color. We're just gonna select these multiple surfaces and right click and go to appearance and face, and we're just going to change it to blue, for example. Okay, that's it for SolidWorks, and I'm going to save it and I'm going to take it into Keyshot. Okay, so I imported my SolidWorks model into Keyshot, and as you can see here, we have like a bunch of different bodies. One of them is our liquid, which is this one. We're just gonna right click on it and we're gonna unlink material. So I'm gonna do the liquid first. We're just gonna double click on it and we can just do the default Keyshot liquid material. We're just gonna click on it, and it depends on what kind of liquid you want to be in this cup. So we're just gonna do water, and I'm just gonna drag it up to white, and it doesn't change the color because this body is actually like covering it and there's no light source in there, so it's fine. It's gonna turn clear. And transparency distance, I'm gonna keep it as is. And the refractive index, you may wanna look into like the different kinds of refractive indexes on the internet. So for water, I looked it up and it's 1.333. So we're just gonna change that to 1.333. Okay, and we're just gonna keep that like that for now. So the next thing we want to do, we want to change the material of our glass. We're just going to double click on it, we go to material graph, and as you can see we have some blue thing, and we want to change it to just solid glass, that one. And refractive index, we're going to keep it as 1.5, 0.394. These are all fine. The roughness, I'm going to change it to 0.01. And I'm going to change the color to something like that. And also I'm going to change the material of the inner glass, which I separated in SolidWorks. I'm just going to copy material and I'm going to paste material, but we don't want it to be linked. And as you can see, we have our liquid and our glass. Now there are some things that you could do to just make it look more realistic. We're just gonna like double click on the liquid. We go to material graph. We could add some bubbles. So we go to geometry and we go to bubbles. We're just gonna connect this to the geometry. Double click on it. Size, we're just gonna reduce it to 0.1. Density, I guess 3 is fine. And bubble limit, okay, everything is good. I'm gonna hide the other two bodies to just see the effect of my bubbles. And we're just gonna, and as you can see, we have bubbles here. I mean, you don't really see bubbles in just regular water. So you may wanna not use bubbles for water. Maybe you're doing like Coke or like beer or whatever you wanna do. And that's basically it. You could add a geometry node to your glass to make it look more maybe fancier, or you could model it to look fancier. You could add a bump map to it if you want to, which I did in my render that I showed you. So we're just gonna go to textures, and I'm gonna do where is it? I cannot find it. Oh boy, okay, cellular, there we go. And I'm gonna press C here. Okay, and we're gonna connect it to bump. And I think it's too much. Yep, it is too much. And we're just gonna decrease it to 0.015. And that's basically it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. I will answer the questions. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and have a good day.